Oh, Kisay! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO delivered by Menulog. We're about to jump on into Game 3. It is, of course, going to be Pentanet and Mammoth, not Order and Chiefs. It's okay. Look, we all jumped our horses, let the horses out of the gates, etc. But look, let's start talking about Mammoth quickly. Of course, we are, a little bit behind the 8 ball. We've been filling a little bit today, so we've got to catch up. I was watching you guys eat your food. I was like, mush, made them eat their burritos within 2 minutes, and they're back. So, look, power eating, speed eating, that's something they're really good at. But let's have a look at Pentanet here. Look, the same roster as yesterday, but Rusty, talk to me. What are they going to do to Mammoth today?
Yeah, so PGG yesterday had a couple of limit tests, to say the least. And they definitely made a competitive game out of it. However, when push came to shove, it still felt like they were always one step ahead. My star of the show was Rogue on that Nami. If you remember back, almost every skill shot that he threw did connect. He looked like a beast. And try as Praedyth and BalKhan might to test the absolute limits of League of Legends perfection, he kept them in line. And it was a very clean dub in the end.
Very true. Now let's have a look at the Mammoth lineup as well. They didn't do too terrible yesterday, and today, we have a different top laner. District 1 going to be jumping up there, Skimmy. So, what do you know about him?
Yeah, District 1 coming in actually as a listed jungler. Actually spent a lot of time in OCS back in 2020 on a team known as RMIT's Redbacks. Actually a team that had the likes of Chungy and Frost on it as well. So they've all been drawn, funnily enough, from that roster into Mammoth at some stage in their career. So he's coming to this position tonight. So another auto-field laner, but no doubt I'm excited to see what he can show in this roster, because this is a team that certainly have, much like Pentanet in a way, stuck to their guns and said we are the 5 to play, but they've brought in new players as well, and this is one new addition for us to watch out for.
It's really sad because we didn't get to see Tron, play as Vlad with the meta. It's his meta right now, and he doesn't get to be here. Kitty, anything to say about the matchup? Who do you think's going to take it? What kind of chance Mammoth have up against the monsters that are Pentanet?
As we all know, Meifan barely got to play the game against Chiefs last night. Hopefully, against BalKhan and Yuri, he gets to kind of play the game, but in fact, we're probably not going to see Mammoth having a really good chance against PGG, because I still think, even though they are limit testing PGG, I still think they are one of the strongest teams in the league, because coming back from Korean solo queue, they're probably just at their A game.
Well, look, guys, I want you to just real quick, just a couple of these, because we got Reufury on the line for the pre-match. Reufury, hello, there he is.
Hello, everyone.
Beautiful. Welcome back for Split 2. How you feeling?
Feeling excited, yeah. Feeling good. Ready to hog some more waves, something like that.
Just what we love to see.
Well, something else that was really exciting was that Xerath pick. It was a really bold pick into Chiefs, so tell us the idea behind why you decided to pick that blind.
Actually, that pick was for Rocco. We were going to try and spice up the bot lane a bit, but then it looked like Raze picked Draven or something, and it didn't look good, so I took it mid, and I probably didn't do that great if you saw on Xerath. But yeah, look, we got some more spicy picks coming up this one, so you'll see better stuff than Xerath.
That's what I love.
That's for sure.
To hear. Now, talk to me about District up in the top lane today. Where's Trom? Where's he gone?
He's taking a little bit of vacation in Vladimir Central. I don't know if you know where that is, but where the Vladimir mains go to hang out, But yeah, we got Benny in here, District 1. We're gonna do some spicy things today, so maybe not the greatest success rate we have against PGG, but we'll definitely try and spice it up for the viewers.
Well, talking about success rate, you guys are going against PGG tonight, where you guys have upset them in the past during Split 1. So how confident are you guys feeling going up against PGG, where they had a rocky day 1?
Hopefully Yuri picks Corki, but probably not going to happen. I have agreed with Yuri. If I pick Cho'Gath, he'll pick Ivan mid, but we'll see if that holds up.
He's looking the script.
That's all right. Well, let's see if that one unfolds. However, look, we'll let you jump on into the Rift and get that draft going so we can get into the game.
Thank you. See you guys.
See ya. So cute.
Buddy, did you like the way I went in there, getting everyone to
That was
wave?
clever.
Did you know he was coming? Did you know it was going to be
Well,
the Reufury interview?
No, I didn't.
No, good. Well, hopefully everyone at home enjoyed that one. Now, look, get those Twitch points in. The channel points, very important for the Dare fan vote. We want to see what you guys think is going to happen in this third game of the day. If Mammoth are going to pull that miraculous upset, or if Pentnet are just going to stomp, as they like to say in the interviews is going to happen. Who knows? Who really knows? Well, let's see what we know, what we think with our predictions, what we're going to be leaning for. Okay, keeping it clean, still 6-0. You know, I like it. I like it. You know, high five to ourselves. Quick. Yep. Ooh, doing a good job. Hey, you have someone there, Rusty.
No, I thought it was just
Oh, for
collective
me.
high five.
Boom. Yeah,
Collective
woo.
high five.
It's okay.
Yeah. Woo, woo. You know, one of those ones. Anyway, look, let's see if that stays clean. It could be 7-0, or we could have, you know, or at least get that tarnish on our names real early here. Skimmy, tell me why.
Well, I just think PGG pound for pound going to be a little bit better. They're the only team that have stuck together. They're the ones that have invested heavily in themselves as being a favourites. They've obviously clearly done some damage to these top teams, right? And especially when you've got Mammoth still looking to try and find their footing as a team that can certainly cause upsets, as they've done with the Corki, as you said, but on a consistent basis, obviously going to be a lot harder, even more so when you've got like an auto-filled laner trying to say, well, I'll just play whatever I can to try and give Winter, who's a bit of a beast in his own right, a bit of a hard time.
Okay, Kitty, have you seen District 1 playing in ranked in solo queue? Do you know what he plays?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know anything about District 1, but
Okay.
we can find out with this game. And
Yes.
I want to talk about how the last time it scarred me forever, it was PGG vs Mammoth, and Mammoth did an upset, and that was when my losing streak in terms of predictions started. So this can turn out really ugly for all of us.
Tell you what's not ugly?
You.
Oh, thanks. But look, at the same time, we're actually here. You can't just do it live. It is studio.
Clean with it.
Anyway, game's ready. Champ select's ready. Let's jump on in. Kitty, we're going to have a chat.
She's ruined him. She's ruined him.
Max is like this
That's
whole
busted.
thing going, and she's, oh, you've just diffused me. Okay, you've just killed me with
I've been
kindness.
thrown. How do I throw it again?
Absolutely. Well, here is the game, and there is the teams. And it is going to be PGG starting off with that first pick priority. They've banned away to Vladimir, and they've certainly said that, look, we're not going to allow any of these insanely strong champions to be let through. In saying that, Senna is available, and we did see it first pick last game.
Certainly did. It's certainly possible that they will look towards that. I do wonder what PGG play bot lane. I feel like Senna would be on the cards for them. I'm sure that Rogue has a diverse enough champion pool. I wonder if they're confident playing into it anyway, right? Like maybe it is something that they just give away. If you think back to last game, it was handled. There's Lucian Nami that still exists.
Yep.
So keep that in mind.
Here's what they played last night, obviously. Praedyth and Rogue, they went for that Lucian Nami themselves as well. Mammoth going to say, well, do we really want to go for the Senna, even if it is available? Is that the way Voice and Rocco want to try and play things out here? We did obviously spend a lot of time when Rocco first came in saying, what is his style? We know that he loves the Braum, he loves the Yumi. He spent a lot of time on the Zillion as well. Jinx can certainly pair well with that as well. It's going to be locked in. And as we touch on what one of his comforts is, he gets hovered, but it won't be confirmed. Meifan gets his hands on the Volibear.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know Rocco from the first split, it is Yumi Braum. Those are his two favorite champions. Now, I'm not going to say those are the ones he plays all the time. It seems like he has taken to Renata pretty highly towards the end of the last split, as well as our first game of this one.
Yeah.
And I feel like otherwise, through this draft phase, nothing surprising, nothing crazy has happened yet, right? Graves will get locked in, Lucian Nami to follow. Strong bot lane, strong jungle champion. You've got the possibility of, like a Jinx and a Lulu. I do think the Jinx Lulu makes the most sense. Karma was still available if they felt the need to have higher wave control, but I think, against the dueling duo of a Lucian Nami, Lulu makes a lot of sense because you can just focus down the Lucian with a Whimsy, or a Polymorph, rather, and be good to go. I feel like right now, with what we've seen, lots of physical damage still there on the side of PGG, so the Narban is an interesting one. I wonder if, AP mages in mid were going to be a point of focus. It seems like that shoe is actually going to be on the PGG foot. And they did say something weird will happen, didn't they? They're going to do something spicy if you were Mammoth. So.
Yeah, that's what Reufury mentioned. So what tricks do they have up their sleeve? We don't know really what District 1 can play. His time back in OCS all those years ago, he did play a lot of these strong meta champions like the Wukong, the Olaf, Trundle, Lee Sin. Certainly champions that can poke their head into top lane as well if he wanted a fair degree of comfort, whether he's had the time to practice and prep some champions in particular for this game. Nazareth actually gets the respect ban away. Wow.
Yeah, that's away from bot lane, isn't it?
Oh, supposedly, yeah.
But like Lulu's already there. I mean, that's just a ban. I think, you know what? I would like to hear the comms from Pentanet during that ban. I reckon they just said, just do it, just send it. We don't have a ban here. We're not worried about anything here. They lock in Ahri, we're fine with that, right? We've got an answer. Just get rid of it.
Also, we can't forget that Veigar is one of Reufury's favorite champions as well. So that has been denied. But Ahri's going to read the response, and it seems to be that this is the most common handshake we've seen when that champion is locked. It is Leblanc, especially if they're not feeling too confident with the Lissandra as a response to it.
Where does Winter go here? A lot of options have been taken away, and it could just come down to a tank handshake for sure. I mean, there are still some bruises. You saw us that last game, but this is the most likely thing. And you lock in a tank. Listen, we've seen Vayne top before. We've seen Vayne top more than once.
Twice. Zeranis and Tien.
Have we seen it win? I think Tien won, maybe? Zeranis absolutely didn't. And the Zeranis game is fresh in my mind because it was into Biopanther playing Sion.
Sion, that's right.
Biopanther built Locket on Sion, but farmed evenly.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. No, Tien did win that one. Tien did win, so at least we got a sample size that says it's viable. But how about an introduction for your debut game for District 1, just saying, you know what, lay down the gauntlet, we're red side, save that pick for me, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, it's a bold move. It does really make you wonder just how much of a jungle main he is. Maybe he's got a secret top lane account or a secret AD carry account. Maybe it's Voice playing top lane Vayne, given that Voice absolutely froths the Vayne pick.
Sure, sure. That would be spicy. That would really cause a few headaches for us. But
that can't make it Jinx top. Surely it just means that Voice will be playing top lane.
That's what we're seeing at the moment.
It bloody better be what we see locked in is Voice playing Vayne top lane.
You would think so. You really would think so, because otherwise that would expand our mind or break our mind. One of the two. As we ponder that for, I suppose let's run through the different compositions and what they have to offer. Obviously, Lucian and Nami, very strong engaged. We saw that yesterday. Graves, a BalKhan favorite, no doubt about it. They want to really be on this map, keen and excited to try and make things happen. But Winter definitely going to be that steady hand, and once level 13 and 14 comes around, says, look, if we haven't found the biggest advantage, or even if we have, this is the insurance policy. There are the ornaments. Let's bring it home.
Yeah, it's an interesting comp from PGG, I think, as a whole, right? Because like the ornaments are going to be nice, they're going to do a lot, but the champions themselves aren't what you would call like crazy scaling options, right? Like a Jinx and a Vayne are definitely high scaling. Lucian does so much damage late game. Has the Nami, so at all times you would say the Lucian is a threat, but he's seen more as like a mobility, close range AD that just generally has to try and kite his way through fights. Something similar for BalKhan perhaps on this Graves. Yuri on the Leblanc is an assassin that likes to do high burst damage, might be able to threaten the all-in of snowballing, and perhaps an ornament can make a difference there in having the one-hit combo, but isn't, you know, a team fight scaling carry like an Azira or Vladimir. So I don't think scaling is the be-all end-all here for the side of Pentanet.gg.
Here we go, though. Poking our head into top lane as we look to see, will anything happen at the level 1 mark? Voice doing a little bit of dancing here. It does look like he is going to be playing top lane, especially based on the summoners and the position, no doubt, as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's any Vayne ADCs that go Flash Ghost with a Cull start. That would be wild.
Back to Season 1, perhaps.
I mean, back to not being in the Pro Leagues if you're going to lock that one in as an ADC.
No doubt about it. Well, as we get this one under wraps, let's welcome back another familiar face from the side of Mammoth. It's Coach Arsh, who is joining us on the line here. Arsh, I mean, how are you, mate? Good off-season?
Hey, guys. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Yeah, really well. I mean, it's great to obviously be back in the studio and have you guys on our screens again. I mean, I have to ask, it's also been a very busy off-season for you boys. A few new faces, one in this game. So how's everybody feeling?
Everyone's feeling pretty good. We're really excited for this split. I think we can do a lot better than we did last split. You're going to see a lot more upsets, I feel like. So keep your eyes open.
That's what I'm all about. I love those narratives that's been absolutely shattered. I mean, tell me, during the off-season, apart from watching Order and seeing how Osu are doing overseas, what did the boys really tunnel down and focus on?
We really focused on team cohesion, because you might have noticed last split, we had a lot of moments where we might have had 3 different people trying to make 3 different plays at the same time on the map. That sort of thing. We've narrowed it down a lot. Everyone's a lot more focused on achieving a common goal.
Absolutely. Well, you can't go wrong with that. And I'm loving this draft, by the way, might I add, the fact that you've just completely thrown a curveball with this fact of bringing voice to the top lane. So, hey, wish you boys the best of luck as always, and I'm keen to catch up as the season progresses.
Yeah, for sure. Have a good one, guys.
On your screens as well, you are seeing BalKhan take away the red buff Meifan's about to walk over. Find it's completely missing. Also use all of his abilities to slow down his passive proc on this Raptor camp. Yuri also is going to place a ward on the Raptor camp, so they know exactly where this Volibear is. They have their measure of the man. And a nice little steal away early means that PGG are unleashed to be aggressive bottom.
That is aggressive beyond something. The passive of the Lucian comboing really nicely with the electric and obviously, forgetting the press the attack too. That is just devastating in a trading pattern.
This is one of those situations where Meifan, you have to look at where he goes right now. Do you know how many jungle camps are alive? Where are they? He's going to find the Gromp and be able to get one camp for his troubles. Has the Krugs to disengage to, perhaps after the Scuttle Crab. So he's got something to do most of the time here. Potentially reset back towards Gromp and Wolves, if not a bot gank first with the Predator. So that's kind of what you're looking at for Meifan here. BalKhan has the freedom to do whatever he would like. And right now, that is leave his own red buff up for as long as possible, take the Scuttle, maybe even threaten a dive.
He's looking at it, isn't he? Oh, the bubble's on! He's going for the ward instead. Rogue so close to securing a smokescreen is all it took. That is a literal drive by KS First Blood. How'd you like that?
It's a dangerous smokescreen that's just been chucked down by BalKhan. Gets the Dark Harvest proc on it as well. First Blood going his way, an extra 400 gold means that he can prolong the red buff's use even further if he wants. Krugs into base, perhaps. Come back onto the map through red buff and then get straight towards another gank. I feel like the map is his oyster right now.
What a phenomenal start for these boys. Early days, and they've certainly given District 1 a welcome introduction into the bot lane for his debut here in the LCO. No doubt Rocco's going to have his work cut out for him.
I don't know if District 1 plays ADC. Skimmy, you said he was a jungler?
He was a jungler, yeah.
This is the oddest sample size you'll ever get from someone. District 1 is a jungle player, is queued up for top lane, he's going to swap with voice. He's also been given Jinx into a Lucian Nami lane.
Yeah.
Straight into the fire.
Nothing chill about this one. Absolutely. This feels like LCO does it a little bit differently. We've got players that are very keen to flex and just play whatever they can to fulfill their team's needs. But yeah, to my point, Rocco's certainly going to have his work cut out from by the later stages of the game, right? Who do I whimsy? Who do I give that buff to? Is it the Jinx? Is it the Vayne? Because both of them will be crying for it to be the star of the show. Ooh, good bubble.
Boneplate didn't get to deter any further trades onto Rocco. District 1 is the person that gets the shield as well. So nice little diffusal, but the bubble connects. Meifan. Note that we spoke about his potential clear. Does get the boot, has Predator.
Once again, looking for that trade, has to flash away. Well, the zap of that Jinx would have certainly been enough of a slow for the gank to be on from that Volibear.
I think if I can say exactly what he's going to do almost word for word, they knew what he was going to do also. They do get the flash out of Praedyth though. Sometimes just having the boots, having Predators just too fast, right? Pressures you out. It's able to force the summoner spell, so that's something that they will take. But right now, that is a Jinx recalling 18 to 20 CS down. His recall's been cancelled as well, Skimmy, from the looks of it. Bottom is in a bad spot.
Yeah, it goes from bad to worse, because if they can crash this wave as well.
That is... If Jinx recalls right now, that is like actually game-losing difference 5 minutes in. And he can't stay because he gets dove.
It's a meaty wave. Going to be hard for Rocco to try and hold that one and buy enough time for District to rock up to this. Did look like BalKhan poked us into mid lane, not to gank, but more so just to help Yuri reset, which he's done so successfully.
Here's the challenge, right? So we might have to hold this thought. Rocco, remember Praedyth, no flash. That's slow connected. There was a chance that you have a Predator Volibear sprinting on your face with a flash of his own. Top lane has a really nice advantage. That's one thing that we have to look at. So while Drake's being done and while Mammoth have got a moment of priority knowing the Lucian's basing to get the objective, Top's farmed well. It's a cull that's already halfway done as well. So there is a lot of positives here for what happens scaling into this game. And again, we spoke about PGG scaling as a whole. It feels like Mammoth have a much more bread and butter good late game composition, right? They've got their pick, they've got team fighting, they've got an enchant to protect two potential carries. The Vayne has the flexibility of split pushing at all times. But I think I would rather have an Ornn behind than a Jinx behind.
Sure.
That's probably the biggest difference right now that we're looking at.
I'm not sure if there's a magical number for this Vayne to try and achieve to say that you're confident in this pick really equaling out the deficit, but certainly at this point, You're thinking once that cull's complete, once Voice has found that moment to attack, you're really hoping that he can find those solo kills and look to try and take over this lane and be that nuisance before the Ornn, no doubt, becomes that absolute weapon where you just can't take him down anymore.
Even if an Ornn is 6,000 gold behind, once he hits level 17, he's given out 6,000 worth of gold to his team. You know, that's one of those great equalizers that exist there. And he's only 20 CS down. Warden's Mail Rush is very smart from here as well. Stops all the auto attacks from Voice. You wonder if it's going to be straight into a Frozen Heart or if he's going to go more of the Randuin's approach, given that Vayne does a lot of true damage. Also, Vayne in general on this patch, insane. You know, extra durability for every champion. Vayne ignores that with the Silver Bolts. Certainly haven't seen much of it yet, but I am excited to see what it can provide as it scales in.
No doubt we'll see more of it. Not only in the top lane, I'm sure much more in the bot lane too.
Puma will pick it blind.
Absolutely.
He loves a good Vayne.
Praedyth's certainly no stranger to it as well. But it certainly seems like if teams are going to look to try and invest in this scaling option where they pair it with an Enchanter, then let's look to try and dissuade that with a pick like a Lucian, like a Kalista, and say, well, you won't ever get that given moment to hit those 2 or 3 items. Internet, having not got the first dragon, will turn their attention with 4 members present to go for the first Herald instead. No real retaliation for Mammoth given their posturing on the map.
No, none at all, and they're not able to, ever. I think the big trade-off here is that District 1 and Rocco will get a free wave. They might get 1 plate if they're very lucky, and they took a Gromp. So it is, in terms of neutral minions, it is a Rift Herald and a Scuttle Crab for a Gromp for District 1, and that's just what you have to do. Your Jinx was so far behind, he's managed to bring back some of the CS deficit.
Sure.
Not a lot. You're not happy, but you are farming.
Certainly a little tab check and you see the item differences. You're thinking if you go back, there needs to be a meaty purchase. If he gets delayed here, it was very close.
Needs to recall at the same time. I think that's twice now Rocco and District 1 have recalled at different tempos, and he got cancelled the first time. Almost cancelled the second time. It hurts. Also quietly achieving, by the way, mid lane CS difference. Feels like out of nowhere.
He's gaming, isn't he, Yuri? 10 CS per minute, and still not going to be as cool, I'd say, as we've seen this matchup showcase itself so far. Really forcing Reufury to have to make decisions. Do I sacrifice my health for the CS, or do I just have to forgive it?
Looking top lane right now, Meifan. Voice could make the attempt. Remember, the ult is there from the Vayne. Ghost to chase down. 8 CS away from Cull completed with undoubtedly a lot of money in his pockets, though. I don't know if this is the play that you'd want to make outright, but you can counter gank potentially.
Nice breath there from Winter as well, respecting that the Condemn was about to come out.
I think you just escort this next wave in, make sure Voice fully clears it, and then give him a free reset without showing yourself. BalKhan bottom.
Looking for it. Smoke screen goes down. Locks in place too, actually. The chompers aren't enough to deter him. The culling is there. The flash away and the collateral damage.
Rocco has ult.
Why is Wild Growth not being used is the question mark in our minds.
Why does the Summoner spell heal get used, but not the Lulu ultimate?
And you question the communication that went down in that passage of play, whether or not he's feeling comfortable
Voice
that he can
is
flash
dead.
away from it. Somehow Voice is dead.
Oh, it's a disaster.
And yes, Pentanet continue their rapid rate of getting that first turret down in a heartbeat. And in the passage of a minute, top lane and bot lane has just exploded.
It's just spontaneously combusted. Mid still stuck under turret. Very hard for Reufury to get anything done right now. No teleport there. Praedyth just going to come and say hello. Turret's gone bottom, so this is his new home base. See you later, Yuri. I think this is just a staunch off.
Being bullied off to a side lane, hasn't he?
Praedyth puffs his chest and pushes him away. Hello.
Not much more doing in this case. Oh, the bubble's on. Rogue. So impressive on the Nami.
Yuri straight up missed everything. He's distorted like 3 times and missed all of it. On a target perfectly still. So they're just going to push mid lane. Rift Herald, I think the second spawning is going to be a big deal, but until then, Drake the fight. Mammoth with posturing for the Drake side of the map.
Everfrost on. Target seems to be the Lulu. Damage follows up. BalKhan instant exhaust. Wild Growth on his own head, flashing away from the Jinx. Chompers as the Spirit Rush comes out of the Ahri. They were hunting for more. Same for the ultimate of the Vayne as well. A lot of cooldowns expended, no kills found. but they have secured the Dragon Pit. Pentanet, however, going to turn their attention elsewhere and say, well, we'll just get plates top lane. We might get a kill mid instead as well. And that was very close to 2 members from Mammoth falling down.
Yeah, that was almost a case of trying to do too many things at once, which is funny listening to what we did hear from, of course, Coach Ash. That is something that they're working on. The play mid while going for the Drake, almost their undoing. Flash gone now from Reufury. And Winter are very happy up in the top lane. It feels like they wanted to fight their Mammoth. They bring Vayne down for the purpose of fighting. That is a teleportless top laner, remember, that wants to make that play. But now it is no summoners on a Vayne. So keep that in mind as BalKhan camps it. We'll see what happens top
beautiful.
again. It is just a clean combo. I mean, it's the Ignite window as well. And I think that was an instant condemn from Voice just based off the animation we saw. Not going to happen through the Bellows Breath.
CC locked. There was literally no way to evade that. Really well. Well, masterfully done, rather, from Winter. And they're going to make it go from bad to worse. The charge doesn't connect. Out comes the Call of the Forge God, knocks him up, and there is that ultimate again. The shotgun just does not miss. And now BalKhan, he's got a bounty.
And that should be a turret. Almost a full turret to be taken here as well. They've got a cannon wave, they've got a bunch of minions to work with, and BalKhan does a whole host of damage. I'm not sure if Winter has chosen to go for the Demolish, given that he's unsealed Spellbook primary, so it might just be like a second window of bone plating with conditioning. So it's not going to have that extra pace, that extra tempo on it, but a free turret is a free turret. And a gold lead stretches wildly.
6k lead at the 14-minute mark. Certainly does feel good here for a roster, or for a team rather, that's been built in this position to be aggressive in the early portion of the game, and they've certainly found that success.
And there's really been nothing doing for Mammoth, right? There's been no response, there's no win condition. The Vayne's no longer in a winning position himself. They're looking to make plays now between Meifan and Reufury, but it's a Leblanc with Everfrost. It's so hard to get onto her if you have any kind of awareness of what's happening. And Ahri using ult first instead of perhaps like an flash. I think that's your only chance to cover the distance. Reufury no flash because he used it in the play mid while they were doing a Drake at the same time. You can see how this has like a compounding effect. Makes it very hard to play.
Yuri just so confident in his ability as well. Just time to stand still and know the range of those charms and orbs. Chuck a cheeky emote out and say, go gank elsewhere, because it's not happening here in the bot lane. Second Herald spawns, and this is where Pentanet have certainly put their attention towards. Obviously very hard for a Vayne to look to try and assist in the play if it is topside, so second one should be easy pickings for them, unless Meifan has something to say about this. First of all, priority is clear up the vision, but Winter is here. And he's denied that blast cone and cut off any point of attack. And guarantee that this river really does belong to them, as Pentanet's bot lane continue to assault the mid.
Yeah, 50 odd CS in advantage now and a shutdown belonging to a killless Praedyth. That's how far ahead they are. Looking towards mid with Herald. Ornn ult.
It's on the culling this time. Flash comboed with the Lulu ult. But they will have to concede this outer mid tier 1. Yuri jumps in, misses the Everfrost, gets Polymorph 2. The combo would have been interrupted, but it made them panic. And now the Jinx has no summoners.
The turret goes down, the summoners and the Lulu ultimate are completely gone. It means that PGG can reset. They can look to do the exact same thing again wherever the Jinx chooses to go. And if she stays mid, a lot less safe spaces to be now with the outer turret completely gone. All that's left is inners, and then it's the base for the side of Mammoth to try and hold on to. Very hard for a Vayne to split push, right? Very hard to have any kind of pressure in a side lane with no map left. And with PGG having close to full HP on every single turret in the game.
It's just been so hard for Mammoth to find those moments to attack. The one soul moment was in that bot lane where District 1 tried to catch up. The one plate is all they could get from that one. Salvage literally anything they can at this point of the game. Bounties now start to come into effect here. Claiming those turrets, claiming those map objectives, some gold that Mammoth sorely need. You're still looking at those mythics being completed by literally any member of Mammoth.
Blade of the Ruin King there for Voice, of course, while not a mythic, is the first step, I think, for this Vayne build. Winzoo's is probably a likely second choice. I think it follows the same vein as a lot of meta AD carry builds right now for the Kog'Maws, for the Twitches, for the Kalista that we saw from Puma yesterday as well. It is the expected path from here. Hard to do a lot of damage over time when you've got BalKhan and Praedyth one hitting them though.
Next Herald spawned, but no backup provided for this. Just a case of summoning, continuing the map pressure, and defaulting to this next spawning of the dragon. It's an infernal sod that they're playing for, and certainly could have been a consideration for Mammoth as a win con, but it will be denied away. And good position there from BalKhan, cutting off the Jinx rocket as well. So that's secured for them. They continue their assault in all 3 lanes. If you just check in with the minimap, every lane is pressed in their favor.
And it's relentless, right? You've got Ahri now pushing out the top side of the map. Teleport not going to be available. Meifan is hovering and protecting that, but how do you actually protect mid when there's no summoners on a Jinx, so the turret has to drop? How do you protect bottom if they choose to sweep their way through the blue side quadrant of the map to go straight towards the bottom outer turret? So the Ahri has to base after 1 wave, the Volibear has to base after 1 camp, and we just continue business as usual with PGG winning, and winning harder every step of the way.
Is the case. They're going to really hard force this play right now. Tidal wave goes out, buys time, interrupts. What was a massive Praedyth? He flashed across the wall. What on earth was that? There's an exhaust, and he has no cleanse this time. He gets condemned against the wall. He gets it. Voice has found 1. Can he find a second? Rogue forced to flash away. Yuri distorts 2. Voice is running him down. This is what Vayne is built to do. Take those 1v1s. Rogue can't do much. He's got a double. He's keen for the triple, but BalKhan shuts it down.
Ornn ultimated as well here.
Winter is answering back. Rocco takes the gamble, flashes correctly. But it is the Graves that gets the double.
Winter is ghosted.
He's 5-0, and Winter wants this. Yes, the spellbook is being sealed. And we'll run down this Lulu, had no mana left.
And there was a little bit of hope given to Mammoth and Mammoth fans there, right? Voice comes in crazy, gets 2 of their only kills. And 100% of the kills right now, and Kraken Slayer just gets completed almost outright with the amount of money that he earned. So Voice in a winning position, but BalKhan shuts the door almost immediately. Meifan doesn't ult at the start here when that tidal wave connects. It actually just dies, flashes the wall. Is like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Voice comes in, uses the Scryers to get vision, does get the reset there. I think also tries to flash the Lucian Q, which is why the flash was used there. It wasn't a flash condemn attempt. Rocco's going to get a shield off here also. A nice target selection from Voice, but Grey's ultimate comes through the flash Q. And the door just gets immediately slammed in his face. And this is where, of course, you've just got the big dog Winterer completely bodying them, separating them as well. Rocco out of mana at the back half of that fight, not going to be able to protect.
A moment of inspiration. Once again, the cost is high, not only in summoners, but in the blood that had to be shed to try and make that one happen. It's not going to really change the tune of this game too much, however. Pentanet are still hot in the driving seat. The bubble, the wave, the knockback, and the reveal that the majority of Mammoth are there outside their walls, waiting to see what Pentanet's next move is.
I respect that we're just getting Jinx ultimates off cooldown for damage. I do like that. It's a very low cooldown ultimate. But unfortunately, the charms aren't connecting, right? The Ahri engages aren't connecting. The one time we saw Meifan attempt it, he just face tanked a one-shot from a Lucian Nami. There are better ways to play this out. Unfortunately, we're not seeing that just yet from them. And so it is PGG that continue to advance and press the attack. Charm's on.
Charm is on. Root connects. Wild Growth very early on onto Meifan, who's completely topped up and healthy. Not so much now, as the collateral damage will blast him down, forcing out the Stormbringer just to run away. Mammoth just up there feeling the pressure. They just cannot find the avenue to really take them down.
I've been baited, by the way, by the indicators. It's a Kraken Slayer for the Jinx. Gwynzoos is done for the Vayne. 2 items now going to be there for him. That's got to be twice in a row.
Gale Force Lilia.
Gale Force Lilia. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? So many reasons why not. But it is the 2 items done for Vayne. That's the main point. The Gwynzoos is done, so... As far as side laning is concerned, I'm not sure exactly what happens when Winterer meets Voice, but it does feel like most of the time Voice should just be winning. But given the circumstances in this game, there should never really be an isolated 1v1 very far away from the rest of the team.
Oh.
Well, that was an isolated 1v1 very far away from the rest of the team, but it wasn't Winterer. It was definitely a Leblanc.
Great bubble again. There's the wave. There's the knock-up. And it's on. The jungler is dead. And if that's not an invitation to go for Baron at 21 minutes, I don't know what is.
They're definitely going to have enough damage and enough tankiness to be able to do this one. Very quickly, Yuri sitting bot lane. He has decided that he's playing his own game. And right now, that is find the straggler.
Yuri wants more. He is absolutely bodying this bot lane, drawing multiple members down. That's essentially 3 members committed to this.
Yeah, 1 kill, 2 there. Baron's free. Winterer tries to secure that one by headbutting the wall, not going to outdo the smite. Let's see what they get done with this Baron, Skimmy, because I feel like, realistically, the game's over with this Baron buff, right? If you're PGG, that should be your strat. That was like a 300 ping LeBlanc combo from Yuri.
I was going to say, just out of range.
What's he up to? He's having too much fun with it.
Certainly taking his chances. And from one pit to the other, they claim a second dragon. It's going to be the Inferno one, stacking up quite nicely to add to that damage burst as if they needed any more, given how strong they are. We have hit that promised land though. Level 14 does mean that the ornaments start to be shared around and the entire team start to feel the love. Let's run it back though. What actually happened in this 1v1? Is it as simple as just hit the chain Everfrost them?
Yeah. This Vayne build is really offensive based, right? Blade of the Ruin King Gwynzoo's is no defensive stats. There's no shield bow to keep you alive.
No
There's
wits
no
end.
heal or exhaust in your summoners as well.
Yep.
Because you've gone straight for the ghost. Yeah, no wits end. If LeBlanc hits a full combo, you just die. And this LeBlanc has been farming incredibly well. Keeping up with the likes of BalKhan and Praedyth, who are also farming incredibly well. You wouldn't think there's that many resources on the map, but they found a way. All 3 of them almost on the clock.
It's a continuing trend, isn't it? Almost like a mini-game in-house for them to see who can be the biggest threat, the biggest carry. The one that gets the most love in their highlights. Once again, BalKhan hits the trigger. Oh, a flash jump across the wall from Reufury. An instant ult away. Meifan jumps in. It's a drive-by that literally did nothing. That is a disaster. And then Yuri comes across and says hello, but it's all Praedyth, who's got a triple kill. He's eventually been shut down here by Voice, who's bleeding, who's low, who gets flashed and fire-breathed upon. As they won't find the ace, but they've done enough damage.
Yeah, they've done more than enough damage. Baron buff in hand does mean they should be able to look towards ending this game. You've got 10 odd seconds till the next person respawns. It's a fresh in here. Reufury not going to be able to wave clear through the Baron buff, Skimmy. It does feel like that is it.
Yeah, 1 turret remains, and it is an Ahri against the world. A huge ask, but one that might be just a bit too much at this point of the game. 24 minutes in, a devastating goal deficit, and a situation where they no doubt will be thinking, go next.
Not ended, have they? Yuri's clone is going to tank. They are just going to disengage. Baron in hand. Winterer.
Oh, okay, Winterer. He's been cool. He's tanky, but not this tanky. Cracking true damage comes across, and it just buys them a fraction longer in this game. It felt like it was wrapped up. It felt like it was PGG's to win. The Nexus itself completely exposed.
It probably was. There is a funny thing here with PGG and open Nexuses. Was it Nexi? Nexus. Just Nexus. Whatever. I don't care.
Get the Oxford English dictionary out.
Just watch the replay again. Reufury tries to engage this one over the wall. Meifan legitimately pulls a Tron the Pom. That's what I'm going to call that. Because yesterday the exact same thing from the exact same team happened in the exact same situation against the Chiefs. And it backfired instantly. Voice gets flash W'd, it looks like. Yuri's, again, just having fun with it. I think this is really just one more push and the game ends.
I want to start conspiracies, but I see a Darkseal is becoming the Jais. He's got 6 stacks.
He does.
He's having fun with it. A few more pages, you reckon?
I probably get a couple more chapters in there, yeah. Would not be surprised to see that one close to fully stacked. That's 4 for a kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
He won't be able to get the whole shebang if one more fight happens. He'd need 2. And I don't think this game has 2 in it.
Wouldn't think so either. But we're on once again. It's a 3-2 split. And Mammoth tries they might will do what they can to try and prevent this from falling on down. But it's an uphill battle and it's a steep one at that. They're going to take the fight in mid lane. The charm, the knockback, the condemn, the kill attempt. The BalKhan is disengaged away. Criminal. Voice is huge, but he's tumbled into a wall. Now he's lost sight with a smoke screen. Rocco's dead off screen. And then BalKhan jumps in and says, you just can't kill me. I am the demon.
Did he actually just one-hit him, man? BalKhan's doing so much damage in that team fight. 4 full items done as well as the Syzygy, and that should just be game.
Well, to tell you what, the rune choice paying off big time there. Triumph rune. Absolute eat your heart out. They gave him the life. They gave him the chance. And they let him lay down the law, really, and say, I'm the carry, not you.
Well-deserved drink there for Winter. And for the rest of PGG, it should be all smiles. A pretty clean-cut victory for them overall. Mammoth, they tried something different. They went for the Vayne top lane. It was Voice playing it. Find himself with a CS lead, did find himself with some advantages, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't the same having a different ADC playing. Bot lane District 1 just got smashed by Praedyth and Rogue.
It seemed that way. I like what you did as well. You said clean cut. You really wanted me to talk about your fresh haircut coming
but you
today.
can't if you want.
Telling me about it before, and you just wanted the attention. But look, I'm not going to let that take away from Pentinet's victory. It was a well-deserved W. Oh, did you get one too?
Yeah, this for day one.
This is the fade couch. Look at us. Ooh, the boys.
Can we get closer? Is there any way someone can come grab the camera, just, you know, do a nice cinematic... Anyway, PGG won. That was a big W. And look, we saw Graves limit testing a little bit yesterday for BalKhan. Today, more limits tested, but he kept it clean. And he got real close to dying a few times, had that 700 gold bounty for ages, but didn't fall. Man just stayed... He kept it deathless, right?
I believe so. He was very close to dying at the very end there. Yeah. But he kept it deathless. And I mean, it was an interesting game where I feel like Mammoth just... It's a consistent trend through a lot of teams right now where they just can't team fight against the better teams. And I don't know if this is like the point that I mentioned before on tanks not being there to engage or something like that. It feels like the cohesion's just kind of disappeared. But I feel like all of our teams right now that are winless have the same issue.
Yeah. Well, what is your take on this one, Kitty? Because so far, so good for Pentinet, but Mammoth, you can see what they're trying to do, and unfortunately, look, the surprise of Voice going towards the top lane didn't work as intended. He built right, he played right, he had a lead, but then he just got clapped in that one-on-one against Winter earlier on.
The Vayne top on paper sounds really, really good into the Ornn. He even went with a cold start where if you were to scale and get those 100 stacks off, you would just scale exponentially. But what the execution was not planned with the Voice getting solo killed by the Ornn very early on in the game, where we also had the Jinx and Lulu getting weak-sided, where Meifan was playing more towards the Vayne lane, where it was going to be a strong point for them, but Jinx with the Lulu, some of the spells weren't used. It became a really, really hard lane, especially when the Lucian got that lead. And I'm thoroughly enjoying Rogue the Tidecaller. His Nami has been impressing me. All of his Qs has been hitting. He's just like the Water Witch.
Saw some... the Water Witch.
The Water Witch. I love that.
Ooh,
Clip it.
Well,
Voodoo magic.
Rogue, the Water Witch. We can call him that for the rest of the split now. Let's see if he keeps on playing Nami, you know, of course. He was playing a lot of Leona, wasn't he?
He was.
And
everyone was, to be fair.
Yeah, very broken at the point. Now, not so much. I believe we got someone on the line. Kitty, who did you prepare?
It is Praedyth coming in with a win from that game. So Praedyth, how are we feeling for Split 2?
I'm feeling very good for Split 2. I think our players are very hungry. I think everyone is still like very, very good. I think last split, I don't think anyone could have predicted the outcome of last split, but obviously we weren't very happy with it. So I think we're all just really hungry to win this split, and we're off to a good start. Okay, we had a chat with Rogue yesterday talking about the boot camp. How do you feel coming out of the boot camp? Do you think playing with the Vietnamese and the SEA teams did you wonders? I think playing with those teams as well as Chase is doing us a lot of good things. I hope Chase are learning the same from screwing us. Like Chase are a very good team. We learned a lot of screwing them, so actually screwing them this split as well will probably mean that it'll actually be a two-team league this time instead of Order coming in at the end. Okay. So yeah. Well, quickly. You guys were the ones that had the ceasefire, right? You were like, no, we cannot scrim, but now you're scrimming. What changed? I guess we lost, and coaching staff and just everything. I think I think like it made sense for us not to scrim them last split. Like there was logic there, and then now, I just don't think it makes a lot of sense now as it did last split. Like we all agreed to it last split as well, but now I think it's just all about improvement. And you saw like us at MSI a few months ago, like last month, and it's like we need to get stronger as a region. So I think that's what like we're focusing on.
And talking about scrimming, you guys have a high preference towards the Lucian Nami lane. So why do you have this high priority for these 2 picks?
If people know me, they know I'm a bit of a Lucian Nami connoisseur myself. But Jake was never really an enchanter player in the past. And then this split, we had a meeting and he just said how he wants to play these enchanters more, just like diversify his pool a lot more. It was like one of his regrets on split 1. So he's been working really hard on that, and I think like you guys are seeing like how well he's playing like these games on Nami, like a champ that at the start of this year I would say he would have never played Nami like ever. So he's actually really impressed me with all his enchanter play, and yeah, I'm really excited to just smash every bot lane this split.
Very good. Well, we're seeing the results. So, 2-0 so far. Let's see if you can keep the trend going. But that's it. Enjoy the W, Praedyth.
Thank you. Have a good day.
We'll have a good day. It is quite early today in gamer hours. It's still about lunchtime. So look, we got 12 hours left.
10 a.m. for Praedyth, isn't it?
Yeah.
He wakes up at 6 p.m. bowl of cereal, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty good. Now look, we got the Dare MVP to hand out as well. Let's bring it up and have a look at who we have gone for. Yeah. And it was the big man rumbling in the jungle, BalKhan. Graves 2 days in a row, but today just keeping it so damn clean. 8-0 and 4 and 30% for the damage share. He was getting active, Kitty, wasn't he?
I mentioned this in the green room where I think BalKhan is the only consistent jungler that heavily prefers Herald over those early Drakes, where he likes getting the early gold from those tower plates and he just scales it exponentially with that gold, and with the 8-0 and 4, he's definitely carrying PGG.
Okay, Rusty, anything to say about BalKhan's performance that you haven't already touched on throughout the cast?
No, I mean, I think it was just a good performance. It's hard to fault what he did. I think at the end of the day, he picked up anything that was dropped in front of him, made it look easy. And I'm more still processing the fact that they're scrimming the Chiefs finally.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's such a big scoop.
Did anyone know that?
No.
Well, now we do. So look, no one's blind to it anymore, but it's good, and it looks like it's proving results. He did mention in the interview, they're very, very keen to just keep on improving and playing the Chiefs, playing, one of the best teams in the region that they weren't before, has told him a few things, Skimmy.
What I noticed how he even sort of represented, so like, you saw how we did at MSI, right? Almost like basically saying that, we as a region just need to evolve and continue to be, the chance of breaking out and maybe getting into that group stage, right? Because always that plan's always like one game or one series away. So he's been there. He knows what it takes. He's been in that situation. So it's great growth. It's really, really modest.
Well, that's it, right? Look, getting better together is what it's all about. And look, we finally get to jump on into that grand final rematch that you guys at home have been waiting for. It is Order up against the Chiefs. Let's see who's going to be taking the W early in Split 2.
Oh, a flash jump across the wall from Reufury. And it's an ult away. Meifan jumps in. It's a drive-by that literally did nothing. That is a disaster, and then Yuri comes across and says hello, but it's all Praedyth, who's got a triple kill. He's eventually been shut down here by Voice, who's bleeding, who's low, who gets flashed and fire breathed upon.
Hey, look, menu pog.
No, I'm loving it already. It's going to become chaos. We're going to be doing like neck rubs on the couch. We're going to be like full on just like sleeping on the couch and then waking up. Oh, it's day 2.
Oh, okay. You want a neck rub now to close the day out?
Sure, mate. Sure, mate. Oh,
wait, why are you coming over here?
No, I'm giving it to you,
You're
bro.
giving me one.
It's a hard job being a host, bro.
I thought I was the
Love your
masseuse
homies, mate.
Anyway, look, I believe that's it for the day. I'm going to enjoy this. You guys, same time, same place tomorrow for day 2 of the LCO delivered by Menulog. See you then.